Hello, Internet. I said I would be back with Combiner after the Megatron. I didn't realize it'd be this Combiner this soon, but I walked into my local Toys R Us yesterday, and they happened to have Combiner Wars Devastator, so I picked it up. And Amazon wasn't listening to this thing until August, so I'm glad to have it early, and without having to wait for it to be shipped. So doing each piece one at a time. I'm starting with Scrapper. He's the leader of the Constructicons and forms the right leg. I don't remember if he was the leader in the original G1 cartoon, but as far as the IDW comics go, he was the leader until his, spoilers, unfortunate death at the hands of Spike Witwicky. Scrapper is his classic front payloader self. He does roll very nicely. He does have a working scoop that hinges right here, and then another one right here. Nothing down here. I don't know if that's accurate to payloaders, because much like military vehicles, I'm not an expert on construction equipment. He's the bright yellowish green, almost neon plastic, or colored, I should say. It's just completely ridiculous for a construction vehicle. On the other hand, this is what Devastator has always been. So I'm not going to hold that against this toy for mimicking the original G1 Devastator. Ironically, G2 Devastator was like a yellow, which is, I think, the one case of G2 being a more realistic color scheme for something. But, yeah, he, like I say, he rolls pretty well. He's got a lot of nice detail. You can see the ladders and such. Lots of little, metal hinges and dots and vents and all that. Problem is, it is all unpainted plastic. The only paint that I can see on this thing so far is purple on the windows, and then the Decepticon symbol, for the vehicle mode at least. It's probably a budgetary thing, I'm guessing. But it would look a lot better with, some silver, like, on these hydraulics and stuff. If I'm feeling brave, I might try my hand at it, but I don't know. And I don't know if the Japanese version will be an improvement in that aspect, but yeah, it is just a little... I mean, it's not bad because the purple breaks it up a bit, but it would be a lot nicer if there were more painted bits just all over it. Also, it's got this... Most Transformer wheels have been like this, where they're just kind of pegged in rather than any kind of metal piece or whatever, or pins. But go around the back. One thing I'll give this is, if you were looking at it like in any normal angle, nothing... Like, you can kind of see an arm bit in here, but, just casually looking at it, nothing looks like it's a robot. If you look at it on the underside, yeah, it does, but you're not going to look at it from the other side, so that's a plus. All of the Constructicons are Voyager scaled. I don't think they are... Like, if I got this as a standalone Voyager and it didn't combine or anything, I would probably feel like it was a pretty weak Voyager. Which I'll get to later too, because it has some limitations. It doesn't have the same detail like Motor Master has or something like that. But yeah, overall the vehicle mode's pretty nice though. So now we shall get to transforming him. Okay, so transformation is not too hard. Turn him over. Peg these bits out. These are his arms. And they just kind of pop out a bit like this, and that's most of the arm transformation done. These fold out, those are his hands. They do fold out a bit, like they do that, so they don't really stop naturally. As I said, arms. Legs, fold these down. You split this at the back, I think. Yeah, oh, never mind, that's right. You don't actually split it, there's a... You actually kind of have to, like, It, like, slides in rather than fully pegs, pops together. But this just folds down this way, and just kind of... Sorry. Folds down this way, and you pop this open, that's the foot, and then the foot was pegged into this hole, like this. This peg just goes right into it, so... Yeah. Same on this side. Okay, so the head pops up here, and you want to make sure this comes all the way up. So he's got pull. It's not gonna. I've yet to actually rip his head off, so that's a good sign. And then the back, actually, the back scoop just folds up like that. And there we have Scrapper. Okay, so I think Scrapper looks pretty good. Like the head, particularly, just very much reminds me of the G1 version. And there's a lot more color. Like I think all the paint, budget went into this part because you got the red here, you got little black lining in the vents. You got this, you got the silver, so Decepticon symbol, you got some gold down here. So I think that was a case of like all the paint went into the robot mode, which if you're gonna pick one of the two, I guess go with that. If you had to factor in their leg mode, I'd probably would have prioritized the leg mode, but yeah, he's not he's not a bad figure. He's for Voyager, I wouldn't buy him on his own. Without combining. On the other hand, I think a lot of the reason he's not as good as other Voyagers is because of the combining. But let's go into articulation really quick. He's got a ball jointed head. He can only tilt it just a little bit, but side to side's not hindered. So yeah. Shoulders, he's got this, and he can actually go forward and back just because of how he transforms. There's no elbow joint. That's a fairly big sin on this figure. There is a rotation, but there's no bend. Nor is there anything in the wrist aside from the flipping out due to transformation. That, like I said, that's a big downer. I think is because when he's Devastator, his hand is up like this, forming like Devastator's heels. I think their thinking was if there was an elbow joint, that would kind of collapse under Devastator's weight. The Takara Tomy version is going to have elbow joints, so I'll wait and see how, from a distance, mind you, because I'm not importing a $200 toy I already own, but we'll see if they manage to engineer that in such a way that it works, or if they just kind of have a floppy Devastator leg. So no proper twist in the waist, though he can do that. That is because of the leg mode. That's basically Devastator's ankle tilt. It's just 2 clicks, which is enough for what it wants to be, but nothing it's not really useful as a robot, as the individual robot. So you do have forward and back pretty well on the legs. You can also go out and can twist pretty well. He does have an elbow joint, knee joint. Sorry, I can go full 90 degrees. Ankles go down that far, so he could do. Yeah, he can do this without looking. Well, he's still flat-footed. He still looks weird because anyone doing this looks weird. Yeah, he's not bad. Again, but like I said, if they asked me to pay $25 for this alone, and there were no other Constructicons, I wouldn't do it. But as part of the combining package, I think I'm okay with it. And I do think he looks good despite, no elbows. But yeah. Accessory-wise, he has, well, there are no individual accessories for the Constructicons, but there are several pieces of Devastator that do combine together, like the hands and stuff and the chest plate. These are the kind of wings on the front of the chest, and you could have him hold them either extremely ridiculous looking guns or swords, or shields or flags or something if you like. Use your imagination. These are probably the goofiest ones for any of them to hold. But I'm showing them off with him because of another mode which I will go back and show that's kind of an homage to something G1 did. But yeah, that's I mean, these look fine. They will be shown off better in Devastator mode. So, but yeah, overall, if I had to rank like the individual modes, I'd probably put Scrapper at like, I'm gonna say two or three, just as far as looks, which is actually pretty good given that the lack of elbow actually really does bother me. But again, I think it's to benefit the Devastator transformation, and with this set, if they're going to make sacrifices to make Devastator better, I think I'm okay with that, because that's 90% of the time what he's going to be looking like to me. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that is Scrapper. Just one more quick transformation due to the... I forgot it when I was in vehicle mode, so... cut! Also, really quickly, there are little height things. So we have the handy-dandy ruler, and this, I would say, put him at about 7 inches at the head. Or I should say, like 6 1/4 at the head, maybe a little bit more with the scoop on the back, but not too much. So, decently sized Voyager. For comparisons, we shall have him next to Deluxe Alpha Bravo. So, Alpha Bravo is a little shorter, though Alpha Bravo does have this big part. And you just, let's be random, some guy that has nothing to really do with the Constructicons, but we'll put him next to Masterpiece Prowl. Don't know why that happened. Scrapper's a little taller, but you know, yeah, just a smidge. Yeah, I know Prowl doesn't really have anything to do with the Constructicons though, so I just had him handy. So anyway, yeah, on to the goofy vehicle thing. Okay, so having him back in his vehicle mode now, I will show off a goofy kind of homage to what you can do with the G1 toy that actually is still viable in this. You'll notice these 2 pegs back here and 2 holes on these wings, so you can, in fact, stick these on here and have a flying payloader, because as we all know by 80s cartoon logic, sticking wings on something automatically means it can fly regardless of thrust or aerodynamics. So, but yeah, it's just like a goofy option for you. Anyway, that will be all for Scrapper. I will show off his like limb transformation once we actually get to full-on Devastator. But yeah, he's not bad. He's flawed, but I think all of the individual pieces are flawed in some way. Anyway, yeah, next I'll probably do Mixmaster just to do the legs and then build up from there. Until then, see you all next time.